Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on BetFax. Another very beautiful Sunday morning. Once again, we're back with our predictions as usual. We always look at football games that are going on across the globe, and we selected, a few of these matches and look into them properly, and also make verdicts based on recent results that they're having. Okay, using those data, we come up with the best possible verdict for each of these games. That's exactly what we're going to do in a short while. And yesterday we saw how very successful we are, even with the big odds, and today we are going to do greater. And before we head on, I also want to remind you that those of us in the VIP won our games yesterday on the VIP. And if you want to join the VIP membership, do endeavor to look at, this description of this very video. You can always see the link that will lead you to VIP special, as well as anywhere you see join around this very video, it will take you to VIP special where you also enjoy the specs. All right. That being said, without further ado, we head to the business of today, and we have quite a good game set for today. And the first is actually in Finland, the Waikono League. We have Atlantis who will facing OLS. All right, and or rather Olu. And when you look at recent games for these two sides, the Atlantis have not been able to win in the last 6 matches. They are only the best result they could muster is a draw, but they've also lost the 5 matches out of the last 6 games that they had so far. And OLS, on the other hand, the West side winning 4 matches and 2 draws out of the last 6 games. Okay, when you take a look at how the two teams fared from home and away basis, you can see that Atlantis, the home side, have had 4 victories but 6 losses in the last 10 home games that they had. And for the away side, OLS also they had 4 victories and 4 draws, as well as 2 losses out of the last 10 away matches. Right. Again, when you look at the score line, you can see that recent games for the home side, the last 2 home matches they had produced, lots of goals, over 5.5 goals each of them. And when you compare with the away side, also scoring almost in each away matches that they had so far. And when you look at how the side fared on head-to-head basis, both teams met, it was actually in June of this very year. It was last time, and OLS won on that very occasion by 6 goals to 1. Although OLS played from home, and prior to that, we saw them playing out a 4-4 draw. Before that very time. But here we will be going with the goals to occur once again in this very kind of seeing that last 2 meetings between two sides produced lots of goals. And for the home side, most of the matches that they had in recent times also producing a lot of goals. We are going with the goals there, and we expect to see minimum of 3 goals in this very encounter and over 2.5. That's what we're for that very one. All right, and we head to the next for today. It is in Romania for first division in Romania. We'll have FCSB who will be facing Unirea Slobosia. Okay, when you look at how the two teams fared in recent times for FCSB, in recent times it is 2 victories out of the last 6 matches and also 4 losses out of those. And for the away side, Unirea, it is 2 victories and a draw, as well as 3 losses in the last 6 games that they had so far. And when you look at performances from home and away basis, you can see FCSB have done very well from home. They've actually won 7 games and at a draw. They've actually lost 2 matches in the last 10 home games. So those 2 were not domestic games. They were actually European qualified matches. And when you look at the Uniria, on the other hand, the away side, they've had just 1 victory and 3 draws in the last 10 away games, but have lost 6 matches. The last 3 away matches that they had, so they're losing all 3 away games. And the last time both teams met was actually in November of last year, and it was FCSB who actually won that very occasion by 3 goals to 0 against this very side. And we will be expecting the home side, to do very well. And when putting all these stats together, we expect the home side to actually rise to the occasion once again and win out shortly here. So home win, that's what valid. Okay, and we head to the next for today. It is in Switzerland. First Division Switzerland Super League. We'll have Young Boys who will be facing FC Sion. All right, for Young Boys, they had 2 victories and 2 draws, as well as 2 losses. And Sion, on the other hand, 3 wins and a draw, as well as 2 losses in the last 6 matches. Okay, from performances from home and away basis, you can see that Young Boys have done quite well from home. They also had 7 victories in the last 10 home matches. 70% of the home matches, I've seen them winning all 7. And they've also had 2 draws as well as 1 loss. Okay, and we side Sion, on the other hand, have not done so very well from away. They've actually lost 7 games in the last 10 away matches. Okay, they've had 2 draws, and they've also had 1 win the last away game they had, sort of winning against Zurich by 3 goals to 2. That's the only win they've gotten in the last 10 away matches that they had so far. All right, when you look at how the two teams fared from home and away, from head-to-head basis, you could see that it was the Young Boys who won the last meeting between the two sides, winning by 5 goals to 1 against Sion. All right, even though Sion won the previous meeting before that one, by 3 goals to 1. But Young Boys playing from home always does very well against Sion, and it was in February of this very year that they had that 5-1 victory against Sion. So here, we'll be expecting Young Boys to do very well again and win against a side who have not really won a lot of games from away. So we do expect the home side winning out shortly here. Home win. That's a verdict. Okay, we head to the next game. Also in the Switzerland Super League, where we have Lucerne Sport will be facing Zurich FC Zurich. All right. When you look at stats for these two sides, you can see that the home side Lucerne, it is 3 victories and 3 losses out of the last 10 home out of the last 6 games that they had at the same times, and the away side Zurich have won 3 games and a draw, losing 2 games. All right, when you look at how the two teams have performed from home and away basis, you can see that Lucerne, the home side, have actually won 6 matches in the last 10 home games. They've also had a draw as well as 3 losses in the last 10 home matches. All right, and the last 3 home games, we saw them beating all the opponents in the last 3 home games. All right, and we side Zurich, on the other hand, losing a lot of matches from our way. They've actually lost 5 games and drawing 2. And they've had 3 victories in the last 10 away matches. All right, the last away game was against Lucerne, and we saw them playing out a 1-1 draw against Lucerne on that very occasion. Okay, and when we look at how these two teams fared, the last time they met, it was in April. It was a 2-2 draw. Lucerne actually played from home on that very occasion, played from away rather, and prior to that we saw them also beating Zurich from home by 3 goals to 0. And one thing we noticed very well about Lucerne Sport is the fact that they score a lot of goals when playing from home. They do very well. We could see them in the last 4 home matches. They've been scoring, double digits, okay, doing so very well. The last one game they scored 3, and prior to that we saw them scoring 5 goals. And also 3 goals and 2 goals, respectively. So we definitely expect to see the home side doing very well. Lucerne Sport, winning here is very likely outcome. Even though it has a very big odd, we still expect to see a win for the home side in this very encounter. So home win, that's a verdict for that very one. All right, that concludes it for us today. Betcraft, we wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. Remember to play responsibly, as these are football matches. They sometimes may not be exactly what it presents. I also remember that the remainder of this very game will also be in our VIP special group, where we'll be looking at some of the games that we believe to be much more likely to offer coming out correctly. All right, do endeavor to join. A link will be in the description of this very video, as well as anywhere you see join around this very video can always take you to our VIP special group. That being said, tomorrow is another day. We'll be back. Right, then, keep winning.